So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the horse riding stance in Shotokan Karate, or Kiba-Dachi in Japanese. So the horse riding stance is perhaps the most stable, the most strong stance in Shotokan Karate. It's very strong because the weight on both legs are equally the same, and it also just feels strong. You get that feeling that you're like a tree rooted to the ground. So I'm gonna talk more in depth later, so let's get into it. So now the horse riding stance. First, we would want to get down into the stance. So how you get down? So of course you're in the yoi position, but when you get down, your hands also make another movement. So getting down, the hands go up like in a yoi position, like a yoi movement. But then instead of ending here, it would end to the side, and when you do that, you would also get down in your stance. So here, it's like a yoi movement and down. It's like at the end, it's like a double down block, and then here, this is the horse riding stance. What you want to keep in mind is that you're deep in your stance. Your leg is out, but make sure your feet are not out. They shouldn't be like this. It might seem comfortable, it might seem better, less strain, but in karate, we want your feet to be pointing to the front. The outside of the foot should be flat. It should not be the inside of the foot that should be flat, but the outside. Both feet should be like that. Toes point front, deep stance, leg out, and make sure you don't lean. If you lean, that's horrible balance, but if you're like straight, it's more stable. So the purpose of the horse riding stance, you can use it to like practice your hand techniques while also strengthening your leg muscles. So for example, we could do like 2 punches. Make sure your legs don't like move, they don't get disrupted by those hand techniques. Like they shouldn't like bend like that. It should be as stable as you can. So we did 2 punches. You could also do like blocks. So like 2 upper blocks, and then 2 chest blocks. Make sure your hips still turn when you're doing these blocks. And then 2 lower blocks. And also in the horse riding stance, you could like shift to like front stance. So how do you do that? You can like shift to 45-degree angle, and the horse riding stance should already be 2 shoulder widths apart. So you know how in the front stance, it should also be 2 shoulder widths apart? That's perfect. So you wouldn't have to majorly adjust your stance or like shorten it. It should be just as is, and just rotate on the heel of the foot. Just rotate them 45 degrees, like that. And if you want to add some hand techniques, you can do this, and then also that. You might realize that this is like in line, but it isn't really if you are facing 45 degrees. Like, okay, if you're facing to this side 100%, then it's not really a real front stance. If you're facing 45, it's perfect, 2 shoulder widths apart. This length is also your shoulder width. So here, and then you can also shift back to the front in a horse riding stance. So now I'm gonna have someone come in and I'm gonna show what a weak horse riding stance looks like and how to identify what a weak horse riding stance is. So the weak horse riding stance, if you have someone to come in and test, then it would be better. So here, if I put my whole foot on his leg, remember this is the weak horse riding stance, he would topple over. You would want to be strong, you want to be deep in your stance, and make sure it won't topple. So the strong horse riding stance, he wouldn't move at all. I'm putting my whole weight in, he's hardly moving. So that's how you can identify whether or not your horse riding stance is weak or strong. So that will be about it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and click that notifications bell so you never miss a